Hello YouTubers, how are you today? Hope you're doing well, praying the rosary and following God's ways, because Yahweh is the best way. Today I wanted to focus on Jesus Christ, and being that today is Christmas, we celebrate Jesus' birthday today, the 25th of December, which is probably 99% incorrect. However, we know that Jesus Christ was born, so people picked today as the day of reckoning. Not reckoning, but the day that Jesus Christ came into this world in a manger. His mama, the Virgin Mary, and the surrogate father was Joseph. And so we thank God that God was astute enough. Okay, well, change of scenery. I had to adjust my phone and things of this nature. So I wanted to get back to Jesus and the fact that he was born on Christmas Day, whichever day that was or is. It's definitely probably not the 25th of December. So, but that's besides the point. What I want to reflect also is the fact that Abraham sacrificed his son, his only son, the one he loves, which was Isaac. And Isaac, if you don't remember, was Abraham's second son, because he had Ishmael. But Ishmael was a bastard son, and God kind of dismissed him, which is an important story to understand how God looks at things, because I basically repeat each and every video that we have to follow God's ways, the ways of God. Everything else doesn't make a difference. So it's interesting that that God talked to Abraham and told him that he had to sacrifice his son, Isaac. And you can go through the whole thing in the Bible. But Abraham obeyed God, and he was just about to kill his only son. But he didn't. God said, don't do it. And he sacrificed it was a ram. So, so God, it was almost like a testing. It was God testing man. Because at the end of the day, who sacrificed what? God sacrificed Jesus Christ, his only son. But it was almost like a test run with Abraham and Isaac. I guess God was trying to figure out, is it really worth me sacrificing my son? So he put Abraham to the test to see if man is really willing to go as far as God is to save man. So today is the day that we talk about Jesus Christ's birth, but it goes deeper than that. And it really goes back to God's ways, how God had planned things out, but man didn't follow through. So we have an awesome God, a God that loves us, willing to sacrifice his only son. And it's interesting, the sacrifice that Abraham was going to make, because Abraham had Isaac after he was 100 years old, about 100 years old. And Sarah, his wife, was 90 years old. So to go ahead and sacrifice his son after 100 years of not having a son, even though he did have Ishmael, it was a grand sacrifice. And of course, that was Isaac was the only son that Sarah had. So of course he had to think about that, how traumatic it would have been for Sarah to find out that her only son was going to die after, she had given birth after being alive for 90 years. So we have to thank God. We have to thank Abraham for today, because if maybe because of Abraham's sacrifice, maybe we wouldn't have Christmas Day. Maybe we wouldn't have been qualified to have our Savior. But luckily for us, we had Abraham who did the ultimate sacrifice. You know. So today is the day that we to consider these things. Yes, it's a day of the birth of Christ, but those things led up. There were certain events that led up to his birth. So I want you to kind of reflect on that. How God is so awesome that he's willing to create a son and have him sacrifice. That was his mission, be sacrificed. And how Abraham stood up and obeyed God. And now we're here today. So I hope you learned something today. Please keep on praying the rosary. Go to church and keep God first place in your heart and mind, because he will take care of you. And as always, God bless.